Hi there, my name is Stefan, and in this video we'll continue working on our one-pager website. Alright, so we need to continue working on our one-pager website, and in order to do that, we need to go to the pages and then edit the home page that you created, edit with Elementor. If you remember, we also created the wireframe in Canva, so be sure to open the Canva and follow the wireframe that we created. So we created the header and we created a footer. Now we need to create the rest of this one pager. In this video, we'll focus on creating the hero section, the services, and the about me section. In our next video, or part 2 of one pager website creation, we'll focus on my work, my skills, and contact me. So let's go back to our page. Let's delete this, and as I said, this is your home page that you created so far. Header is here, footer is here, and now let's continue creating the one pages. So first of all, go to the settings in the bottom left corner and change the page layout to Elementor full width, so we will lose this heading here. Also, you can hide the title and this will be gone, but I prefer using Elementor full width. And as you can see here, it says this template includes the header, full width content, and footer. So basically, this is just Elementor. Let's focus on creating with Elementor. So as I said, let's follow this wireframe. So in order to create this header section, as it is called, we need to use the container, and then inside of it, we'll use the animated heading widget. So let's click on this plus icon, and also, yeah, don't forget to turn on the navigator. In order to do that, you can just hover your mouse at the bottom left corner, click a navigator here. If you're using a new version of Elementor editor, the navigator should be around here, but I prefer using this one for now. I guess I'll switch to the new version at some point. But yeah, that's it. So let's choose Flexbox and then use container with the down arrow. Now, what I like to do is I like to create the main or the parent container that holds everything, and then I'll just rename it by double clicking it on the container widget name here in the navigator and name it like let's say main container or parent container, it doesn't matter. Now inside of it we need to add a new container which we'll call hero. One more thing before we proceed is click again to the main container, left click on the main container, and instead of content with box, we'll choose full width. And why we do that is we will allow our containers, rest of containers, basically this content to be full width. If I leave it as box, then the rest of the content inside of this main container will be box, so basically the width will be 1140. We want this first container, the main container, to be full width and the direction to be column vertical. Also, in the advanced, we should set the padding to 0, so the paddings won't be 10 pixels, because by default Elementor containers have 10 pixel padding. So basically, let me show you that. So I added the hero container, and I'll add the background image by going to style here and then clicking on background type classic, and then I'll choose the image here. Now I added all of the images I'm going to use throughout this tutorial, so you can do that as well. I'll choose this background image, and as you can see, this sorry, just a second. Let me add a animated headline here as well, so the container will have something here. So you see this white line or white gap here, it's basically that padding that I mentioned. So what we need to do is go to the main container, in the advanced, set the padding to 0. And as you can see, there isn't any padding here anymore. Now let's continue with the hero section. Now, as I said, hero section, style, background type, choose the background image, which I already did. Change the position to center. I mean, that's what I like to do because this image will be centered. And then display size, cover. Now, in order to change the height of this container, hero container, we need to click on hero container, layout, and then minimum height change to view height, and then set it as 90. Why 90? Because this header here is around 10 VH, so if you take a look at the hero section, you have a nice 100 VH view. Basically, it will complete the picture, let's say it like that. Instead of having like 70 and then you will have like a white gap here or any gap here. So that's what I like to do. Now, if we take a look at the wireframe, we can see that there is a background here and plus the heading. So as I said, I will use animated headline here and then style it a little bit. So what we need to change here is the before text, which will be WordPress website designer. So let's type it in, WordPress website designer. And then the highlighted text, which will have a different color than WordPress website designer, will be my name. Now, the animated headline is used in order to do this kind of styling, and also if you want to point a certain word or text in this headline and maybe attract your customers. Now, in our case, we will get rid of this circle. But before that, let's change the HTML tag to H1. Why are we doing this is each page should have only one H1. This is regarding SEO, basically telling the search engines what is the most important heading on your page. Basically this H1 should describe what's this page about. And in our case, I'm writing WordPress website designer and my name. Now, of course, no one's gonna search my name. Maybe it will happen if you're a superstar WordPress website designer, but in my case, I'm not. What people might search is WordPress website designer or WordPress website design, and then there is a chance that your website will come out because H1 this WordPress website design is set as H1. Of course, your website won't come up to the first page of the Google because no one knows about you yet. You need to promote yourself using Instagram, Facebook, other Google ads, other ads, and so on. But I just wanted to say that having H1 is crucial, and you should have only one H1 per page, not per website, but per page. In our case, this is a one-pager, and of course, this is our only website page, so of course it will have only one H1. Just wanted to point it out this. So now under style, we need to change the color of this shape to transparent so it won't be visible, as you can see it. Now the headline is this first part. Animated text is of course this one that had a circle around it. Now the text color we need to change per our wireframe. The first one should be orange. Typography, since we set up the H1, H3 and other types of text, we'll choose H1. And the text color for my name will be white, as shown in the wireframe. Now, in order to center this, we need to go to the container from where you can center your content. So under justify content, you will see that I can center it like this, basically. And align items also will allow you to center it by this. So You don't need to do this because this is already centered, but let's do it anyway. Now this is the hero section. This we completed this, so as you can see, it's super easy. Now let's move to the second section, which is these services. Now what we need to do here, so we want to stay in this main container. If I click here on this plus icon and add a new Flexbox container, you can see that this container is not inside of the main container. So what you can do is copy and then paste it here like this on the main container, and then delete this container and rename it as, so these are services. We rename this container, of course, as services. Why I'm doing this is it's easier for me to navigate throughout these sections or containers by giving them the exact name that basically this container, these containers hold these informations. Like this will be a container for services. So when I click on the services container, I'm gonna be, the editor will jump to that part of the website. So it's easier for me to navigate throughout the editor and throughout the website. Now, what we need to do here is we need to add this, as you can see, heading, then image, and then button. Now, what will I do? I will add the main container for this service here, and then I'll add another container for this heading because I want to have this as a white background. Now, this will just be an image outside of the container, just an image itself, and then again a container with the button so I can add the background color. This is my way. Maybe you can find another way, but I guess for beginners it's easier to do this. So let's drag a container in the services container, and let's rename it as website design. So this container will rename website design. Now, before we proceed, under services here, we'll change the direction to row horizontal. So when I duplicate this container, we'll have basically 3 containers, one for graphic, one for SEO, and of course website design services. So if I duplicate this, you see how it stays in one row because I used the direction row horizontal. If I use column vertical, they'll be below each other, but if I use row horizontal, they'll be in one row. Now, what I basically do is I create everything in this first container, and then I'll just duplicate it so the style will stay the same. I won't have to redo everything for each service from scratch. So let's focus on creating the website design service. So as I said, I will add the container, and inside of this container I will add heading, which the HTML tag should be H2 because we have H1 here, then we have H2s and so on. Now this will be website design style. Let's change the text color to let's see, black in this case. Let's center this, and let's change the typography to, if I change it to H2, it's too big. Please note that this typography and style doesn't change the HTML tag. So this is not relevant to, this is basically just a style. So you can do whatever you like with the style. It won't affect the search engines. So let's use H3 in this case. Let's see, actually, button text. Yeah, that's too small. H3 is okay. Now we need to drag the image below this container here. In this case, it's inside of the website design, and then move it below this container with the heading. And now below the image we have another container with the button, see my work button, and then let's add it here. And now let's change the text to see my work. We'll later link this to my work section. In the style, we need to center it, typography change to text, text color to white, and then background color to black. And let's remove the border radius. As you can see, it does have a little curve here, so let's change it to 0. Great. Now, if you take a look in the navigator here, we have, as I said, parent container website design, and as you can see, it has a little gap here. That means that in this parent container website design, in the advanced, we need to remove the padding or set it to 0, because as I said, containers by default in Elementor by default they have 10 pixel padding. Now let's move to this container that holds the website design heading, and change the color to white, because as you can see it from the wireframe, it has a white background. Because when we move this a little bit up into the hero section, if we leave it as transparent, then this container will take the color of this hero section background image. And let's change the or actually let's move to the image and let's add the image here. Image resolution change to full, and then choose the image for your service. This will be a website design, so I just downloaded this image. Then we have this container that holds the button that needs to be black background. So I made a mistake, sorry about that. So in the style, go to the background and then add color black, and then go to the button and change the background color of button to white, and then the text color to black. That's my bad, sorry about that. Now in the website design container, we need to remove, in the layout, we need to remove the gaps. As you can see, the gaps are 20 pixels column and row. That's why we have these gaps here. So if we set them to 0, you'll see that they'll align nicely. So we have our first service card ready. If we compare to this, that's basically it. Now, what I would do is I would just click on this parent container website design. You can click it here or here, and then click duplicate. Oh, my bad, sorry. It is easier to click here under website design. So right click, duplicate, and then again duplicate. Now we need to delete these two that are blank, that we just duplicated in the beginning. I wanted just to show you how the row horizontal works. So delete, delete, and we need to rename in the navigator to graphic design, and this is SEO. And of course change the headings here to graphic design, and then this to SEO. Oh, sorry. Now we need to change the background images for graphic design and SEO. So let's click on the background image, choose the graphic design one, and then SEO. Yeah, there we go. Now if we compare to this, looks the same. Now what we need to do is we need to move all of this up here a little bit. So what you need to do is click on the services container, basically the main container for the services, and go to the advanced. Unlock this so you can just choose one of the values or edit only one of the values, and then move the margin top to minus, let's say, 150 maybe, for example. And then let's add a little bit of margin bottom, like 50. And let's see how it looks. Great. Now we have this created. As I said, we'll link these buttons later to my work section. So let's continue with our last section in this video, which is about me. So let's add about me container. What we can do is click plus, flexbox, and then container. We'll use this direction, and then let's copy it and paste it into the main container. I know it's a bit tricky, but this is the easiest way how to do it. Let's rename this container to about me. And if we take a look at the wireframe, we have the image on the left and then text on the right. So what we'll do is we'll add the image widget on the left, and then we'll add a container that will hold about me and text. So let's do that. Let's drag the image here, as you can see it, and let's drag the container to the right. Let's add the heading here, and let's add the text editor here. Now, as you can see, about me container, as I said, we have this row horizontal, so we can have image and container in one row, not one below each other. Let's use center here, so this text will be centered. And then let's change the image here to image resolution full, and then let's add the profile picture, and let's focus on styling the text here. Actually, before we continue, let's click again on About Me section, and then go to the Style, Background Type Classic, and change the color to black, because if we take a look at the wireframe, this is how it should look. The heading should be orange and the text should be white. So let's click on the heading here. You can click on the heading from the editor here or from the navigator, doesn't matter. Change the text to about me, and the HTML tag should be H2. Go to the style, text color orange, typography, let's use H2 in this case, because if you use H3, I think it will be smaller. Better go with H2. Now click on the text here. You can see that it's here, but it's blended with the background color. You can click left click here, or you can click left click in the navigator. Let's add a little bit of more text. So I'm just copy pasting the lorem ipsum text. Go to the style, change the text color to white, and this is how it looks. Now let's add, or actually let's see how it looks. I think it needs more gap, so let's add the height to this about me container by going to layout, minimum height, change to view height, and let's set it as 75, for example. And because we set alignment item center, you can see that this this content is centered. If I don't click it, it will be at the top. So let's click center. And yeah, that's pretty much it regarding the about me section. So let's see. Yeah, it looks nice with the rest of what we created here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this part one in this one-pager website creation. Alright, as you can see, creating with Elementor is super easy. In our next video, we'll continue working on our one-pager website. We'll create sections like My Work, My Skills, and Contact Me, so stay tuned.